Let's wait a little bit until people start joining for yet another edition of the Theia Roundtable. We have some coffee. I have some late coffee, like it's 10:30 p.m., but I still having coffee because I'm gonna be awake until like 6 a.m. tonight. The Germany plays. Germany match starts at 4 a.m. So,
Oh man,
and the
that's late for you.
decisive one, so I can't miss that. Last night I also went to bed at 6 because I was watching the other matches. Like it's just like too addictive, like World Cup. I just like can't, I can't miss that.
Yeah.
My excuse that no is every 4 years only. So kind of screw that every 4 years. So I can do that like because I just do this every 4 years. But yeah. Wait, I just opened this here. Oh, I opened the same screen. That's it. Okay. Hey, hello Gambit. How are you doing? We can slowly get started for the round table. Yeah, just like preparing here. We have the stream already live. Waiting for a couple of others to join here to see kind of the community here. It's just Paris here. Just like sending a message because it's gonna be sending the forms on the. Uh, there. Not many people today. People are a little quiet here. I don't know, just like the vibes here. It's very cold here in Korea now. You can see me wearing the hoodie. Kind of suddenly got super super cold last 10 days actually. So
It's the worst.
hmm?
I hate the cold. It's the worst.
I honestly no. I prefer the cold. At least you can wear more clothes to go out. When it's too hot, there's nothing to take off anymore.
That's true.
So but for comparison, for our Filipino friends, right now it's -8 here. It's gonna be around -12 Celsius tonight. So that's cold. Yeah, regarding roundtable prizes, I think interest party is gonna be sending a form on the chat, so you can just fill up and be eligible for the XP exactly. So we're gonna be giving a bunch of XP this time here. I think I said I think 50k. I think right? Did I promise 50k for 50k? So you can just fill that. I just forgot the numbers. So you can fill that one up. Um, so just fill the one, and then you can get 50k after the stream. But yeah, it's very cold here. -8, and it's you go outside this cold wind here, and the crazy way I am I go outside and I still order iced coffee, because iced coffee is regardless of the weather.
That sounds like I'm pretty used to that growing up in Boston, so that sounds comfortable to me.
You mean the temperature?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the temperature and the iced coffee.
Yeah, iced coffee, of course, when I started in Korea. But since I moved to Germany, very used to cold temperatures as well. In Korea, you can get I think the worst I saw was -23, something like that. So it gets chilly, But Korea, the heating system here is pretty good. With the floor heating, very traditional Korean style they have here. You get very warm at home. Just I don't wanna check our gas bill. It's gonna be a nasty one this year because of the whole stuff in the world. But better than just freezing, I would say. I think slowly we can get started. I don't think we're gonna have many people tonight. I think it's feels we are kind of in a post closed beta hangover vibes here. The community. Everyone had a lot of fun with the closed beta. I assume we had 200 people playing the closed beta. Now it's over. Get this kind of depression. So it's normal. It's okay. It's fine. I'm the same. It was very fun. For 2 weeks with the closed beta. But yeah, Will, it's now time to move forward. Kind of working on the new features, polishing, updating, introducing new icons, new stuff for for the second closed beta, which we want to do like early next year, and then obviously leading to the soft launch in Southeast Asia, which we still want to do before the end of Q1 next year. So that's our big milestone. So like can say that in the last we are in December now. In less than 4 months from now, we should have the game out in Southeast Asia, which actually is honestly is extremely exciting. But yeah, we no further ado, let's get started with this 17th edition of the Theia 17, holy crap, of the Theia Roundtable. I'm Guy, joined as usual by Will. How are you doing, Will?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for this. Definitely feels like there's a little bit of a post beta
Hangover.
hangover. Just in general. I'm definitely feeling that too, but I'm excited to go forward here.
Post beta hangover. Yeah, it might be like hangover, but there's still stuff to be shown, stuff to be talked about. So as you might know, the next closed beta in probably in February, we will have 14 playable icons. We already reviewed 13 of them, so tonight is the time to review the 14th and last playable icon for the closed beta 2 and for of course for the soft launch. So the idea here is closed beta 2 and the soft launch in Southeast Asia, we're gonna have 14 playable icons. By the time of the global release, end of Q2, early Q3 next year, we're gonna be releasing the game globally with 21 playable icons, but we have 14. I can say that all of them on a very good position to be completely ready by end of this year already. So it's just a matter us implementing them. So they are in a pretty good position to get ready. I'm gonna be showing not only the 14 icon but also animations from some of them. We just received some new animations, like say Sir Gavel one looks pretty cool as well. You're gonna enjoy. So some pretty good stuff to show to you. But yeah, get started. Everyone here enjoy the closed beta. What are your feelings about the closed beta? Enjoy playing the game, enjoying having some fun with us. What are your feelings after having the chance to play Icons of Theia for 2 weeks? Hope you had fun, everyone. But it's not only hope you had fun, but it's just the start of the fun. Let's say it's just kind of the very first version. Let's say 7 icons. My maps is still simplified. Still kind of simple. Progression. I can't wait to show what we have in store for the progression system. So you guys might know that we have the leveling. You can level up your icons, but there will be other forms of progression that you feel you can improve, develop, upgrade your icon over time. So there are gonna be a lot of new stuff regarding the progression systems. That's something I'm very excited about. We just got as well the kind of the kind of the description how the tutorial system, and that's something you guys said a lot in your feedback forms, which I appreciate a lot. All the feedback. So about doing a very comprehensive onboarding experience, and that one I can confirm that we're gonna be doing for the second closed beta. So it's gonna be looking pretty cool. I got a read today about how it's looking like, and it's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna explain to everyone how the game works before you play against other people. So it's gonna be some levels that it teaches you everything you need to know about how the game works. So I can't wait for you to have a chance to test the one, and yes, the tutorial is optional. So that's very important. So you're gonna let's say going the user experience is gonna work in a way that let's say you download the app from the app store, and then you open the app, open the game, and it starts the tutorial. So we're gonna have one of the icons being the main kind of a narrator of the tutorial, introducing you to the game. Not gonna tell which icon, but one of the icons gonna be there, kind of introducing the tutorial. But you're gonna be given the option to skip the tutorial, completely optional. So it's gonna be, I think we have planned 4 levels, for kind of matches, our tutorial matches. So you play in these 4 matches, you learn how things work, but it's completely skippable. And even if you want to return to tutorial, there will be an option in the settings, kind of you click on an option there, and then you can also play the tutorial whenever you want. So it's optional, it's skippable, and you can just revisit whenever you want. So that's the goal for the tutorial. So excited about having that one. I think that's gonna be a big like game changing for onboarding new players. Um, like going a little more marketing perspective now, it's very important once you download, like when people start playing on mobile games, that the first thing they do is they jump into action right away and learn the game, and then you encourage people to sign up. So, but at the same time, you make this experience optional, so people should be able to experience the game the way they want, and that starts the moment they open the game for the first time. So if the first experience they are faced with is a tutorial, they should be able to not wanting to experience that at all and jump right into action. So yeah, that's one thing I'm doing. That's one other thing that I don't know if I'm gonna spoil this right now, but maybe I should because I'm very excited about, or maybe not. Maybe not. No, I'm not gonna spoil this one. I want to show this one when it's ready. Actually, I think that's something that we have been discussing. We were in yesterday's meeting. Do you remember that
Yeah.
one? That one I have been working on. Yes.
Oh, that would,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
No,
one.
yeah, we should hope, but that will be exciting.
Let's hold that one. Okay, that one. So too much stuff. I'm gonna have some animations. I have new icon. If I start showing new stuff and I wanna show that one when it's ready, and I think that's gonna be more impactful. Hey, so sorry, I didn't say any hello to. I just kept talking so you had so many people here join. So hello everyone again who just joined. But yeah, Will. Yeah, end of closed beta, preparation for this next closed beta. So it's gonna be a very busy 2 months of setting up a bunch of new features. Um, is there anything in particular, without spoiling too much, that you're excited about?
I think I'm just in general excited to, see people playing again. I think that was like the one of the more, funner times I've had with the community in general. And I think people are going to be kind of shocked how many changes there are and just like how different it is like every time with these updates. I know that I am just like from our side, like every time we're, talking about different updates and showing off things, I'm just like, wow, every time almost it feels like a completely new game. So I'm excited to see everyone kind of get some insight into that and see what we've been working on.
It's gonna be a mix of kind of exciting for playing with people again, or in our case to get our ass kicked by the community members again. But also I'm really curious to see the current players who play the closed beta one to test the game again and see what they think now what it changes. But also introducing the game to a bunch of new players. So we're gonna be looking kind of everyone who played in the first closed beta to play again, but also a whole completely a group of players to be able to experience Icons of Theia for the first time and be able to experience this onboarding experience from the zero. So that's something I'm very excited about to see what people are gonna take from it. But it's pretty exciting. We have been working very fast, and it's incredible. We are talking internally that we started working on this on this current version of Icons of Theia. If you remind very well, I know for some of the OGs, we decided in February to go with Icons Clash. That was supposed to be this mini game before we developed the main game. And we worked on that one for approximately 2 months, until we decided it wasn't really fun, wasn't really good actually as a game experience, and we decided kind of to just scrap that and go full into the main game development. So the main game the app that we have, we started working on it in April. So it has been less than 8 months actually, and I think and there's big shout out to the development, to the art teams here. Me and Will, we didn't do anything. We were just kind of playing. Uh, but big shout out to the entire Tia team here for putting in less than 8 months creating a fun game. I feel that everyone has been joining. So I can't wait to see what we're gonna have in store early next year, um, and to give you the chance to play the game. Before I move on, so today I'm gonna be showing two new animations, and introducing a new icon. But as usual, the floor is yours to make any questions you want. You can make anything related to the closed beta, or you can make something related to the future, to next year, what we have in store, timelines, roadmaps, related questions, anything you want. As usual, keep the questions coming, and me and will answer them. We can get started by this very fresh animation that I just got it. I'm gonna actually share the screen here a little better here. let me get, is this one here? There's so many stuff here today here, I apologize. I don't even know like which one is this one. It's not showing my window. Come on, man. Wait, no, that's the wrong doc. I'm just trying to open here. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? No, not this one. Wait. Which software is this one here? Sorry, I apologize. Taking my second here. Or just, I don't know why. I'm just gonna share my screen. Okay, let me like. Wait, you know what I forgot? I forgot the overlay. Dude. It's been like 20 minutes talking without a damn overlay. Now I realize the overlay was off. Like, damn, like the amateur level here, like a boat is beyond the roof here. Sorry for being like a very shit host. And not putting the overlay. The overlay is there now. Let's go. I knew I was forgetting something, then like I saw the overlay. I apologize for the lack of the overlay. Let me get right into the kind of like, no, let me put my screen here, and then like I wanna like just have give you the impact here. So I apologize for the lack of overlay. So let me put the share screen here. You can like start presenting. I just put it off here, so you guys not see anything because you're not supposed to see anything. So let me change now the overlay, do a little more professional this stuff, and here you have it. So before I proceed, this is like is the ability animation for Sir Gavel. So I'm gonna like describe a little bit the ability before playing the video, but this one like we received today, and actually today is fresh, is new. It's finished today, and I really wanna show because it became one of my favorites. But some say like when you the new icons and NFTs be available to purchase. So we're not gonna have any other NFT sales, like any other character sales or anything. We're gonna be kind of like next time you can buy icons, characters gonna be in the game. So by the time the game like the soft launch takes place in March, you're gonna be able to buy all new icons directly in the game store. So there will be no more external sales until the release. So we're gonna be preferring to sell everything in the store. So you can buy everything directly in the store when the game releases. So March you can buy the 7 new icons. If you have already existing 7, you can buy like on Sir Gavel here or in other 6 on the store. So a quick description about Sir Gavel, right? Sir Gavel. Yeah, I didn't say the gender, right? So I'm gonna say the gender. So they for some reasons they wear this kind of mask. Let's say that they suffer some damage, let's say, to their appearance, to their facial features, and they force them to wear this mask. But pretty much Sir Gavel is a sniper, as you know, and does a lot of damage from long range. So Sir Gavel ability is pretty much they put themselves in a sniping position, so kind of to increase their range for basic attacks. So pretty much it's a toggle on, toggle off ability. So you toggle on the ability, and then your basic attack has higher range, and I think a higher damage as well. I forgot. But pretty much it's a very if you know League of Legends, is a perfect example of a AD carry. Let's say that it does with abilities being used to enhance basic attacks. So that's pretty much what Sir Gavel is here. So you use abilities for Sir Gavel enters a sniping position and does more damage. So here's animation here of Sir Gavel entering the sniping position and attacking. So I'm gonna show you because it became one of my favorites. Take a look how cool. With the VFX here. So let me show again here. So you can see here the kind of this mark here handling this line position with this mark, and I really the target here the target searching the target and then fire. So you can see this is done. The animations are done, the VFX are done. The only thing needed is a sound effect, and maybe more sound related stuff, which I'm not gonna talk about. I'm not gonna talk about it, but maybe more sound related stuff that I have no idea about that might be implemented later. But here you can see how this looks like. Let me see, I have more stuff to show here. Yeah, see, here's the basic attack, you see. So take a look at the difference. So this is the basic attack for Sir Gavel. Sir Gavel standing up and attacking the normal attack. And then here again kind of the difference with the ability. So pretty cool looking, right? What do you have here? Here that's on the ones that we show already, right? Like Tomo's, for example, is like this. So Tomo kind of turns her arrow, pushes her arrow back, and does a big ass animation there. What else we have? Yeah, this one is a new one. Okay, this one's I wasn't supposed to show, But this one is for Vitalis. When Vitalis actually kind of uses his own ability, the one that changes the positions. So it's pretty much he creates a dark hole, transporting himself to another spot. So this one actually is one of my favorites too. Actually, it's a purple, literally like a purple black hole of sorts, and then he teleports himself to another position, and then his reverse ability is played, and then he comes back in the new position. So, yeah, hope you like those. I can actually right away jump into introducing a new icon. Anyone any comments here? Anything to mention about Will? What are your thoughts about the new stuff, new animations
I
here?
think I love the animations. I think that the Sir Gavel animation there that was my first time seeing it too. I think it's might be one of my favorites. It's definitely like one of the coolest.
So yeah, I already put a new icon on the screen here, but yeah, the community is not seeing that yet. I just push the screen. So I have the new icon ready, and I'm gonna introduce then the 14 playable icon in Icons of Theia, and here we have. So the 14 playable icon hailing from Jukur, we have Ngama. So Ngama is gonna be the 14th icon that you're gonna be playing in the open beta or the closed beta 2, and also on the soft launch. So Ngama, as you can see, she's pretty strong. She carries a big shield, so you can see she's more on the tank side of things. So pretty much her in-game role is kind of soaking obviously a lot of damage. Like she's a tank icon, but also it's more like a tank support mode in which she creates a protective bubble ability that can kind of protect and and support allied icons. So it's more like kind of a tank support stylish of play. So if you again sorry with the League of Legends comparisons because I play that much, but if you play say icon let's say Brown, or Brown's a good example with the shield perhaps, but also or Taric, icons that sorry, champions that support, but also are quite tanky. But in her case, more like she can be played very frontline, or supporting the icons next to her. So yeah, and Gamma storyline and lore. I'm gonna be introducing more details. I have some pretty cool stuff planned for the lore. It's just I didn't have time to write much lore the last weeks. Last month has been so crazy with the closed beta and preparing a lot of new stuff. Not an orphan, not an orphan, not an orphan. Not an orphan. That's a good news here. Afo, not orphan. She had actually she has some family. She has family. Actually, she is related to one of our other icons in game. So let's see who. Um, that's gonna be revealed on the lore as well. You might take some assumptions. I'm not gonna say anything, but no, not leaving the children. No, Serapis here. No, no. It's the families. There are always some complication stuff, but no orphan this time. Actually, yeah. Sorry, I think I went a little overboard with the orphans, right? Um, Tomo, Aegir. Who else the orphan? Achilles definitely not an orphan. Burbo, I didn't say anything, but Burbo is not an orphan as well. Coles is not an orphan. I'm doing one per one now. Silang is not an orphan. Selena, her mother died, but died of older age already. It's when she was an adult, not when a child. So I don't consider that to be an orphan. So Selena's not an orphan. Her mother died no orphan for me when they lose the parent very young. So that's not Selena. Misha is not. Now we have two orphans, right? We only have an Aegir or Tomo, or if I correct me if I'm very bad about my own lore.
No, I think so. I think that's correct.
The orphan account. So maybe for the next icon I need to make some kind of orphan twinned icons. Perfect. Jack is an orphan. Jack is an orphan. Oh, sorry. Jackal, Tomo, and Aegir. Jack is an orphan. But that's the twist comes. The twist comes. Actually, Ngama is related to Jackal. So, Ngama here is related to Jackal. Not her mother, but he's related to Jackal. So technically, Jacko is not an orphan anymore. Or orphan, he lost his parents, but he has family still. So which is Ngama. So if you know like Jacko's lore, like kind of like his family died, his parents died when he was young, and then he's left. He spent many years living by himself in a cave, in the desert, which made him a little peculiar and eccentric. But eventually, he's gonna be reunited with his people, and he's gonna find one of his king, kind of which is like Ngama is one of his king. I'm not gonna say they're really, no, there's some like lore stuff. I need to actually polish that, but the core idea is there. Give me time during Christmas. I think when things are gonna be slow, we're gonna be writing some lore, and then we can present that. Just apologize, there have been so much stuff going on. I didn't have much time to write lore, but yeah, I can also jump right away into one of the animations for Ngama here. Let me share my screen again for another tab here. Yeah, that one here, the attack. So you can see how she feels in the game. But in the meantime, Will, what do you think about Ngama?
Right there.
Yeah, the camera
Like
can
my
see that. Yeah,
sinuses are a little bit.
yeah.
I
Here it
think
is.
she looks super badass. I love her shield. I think that like as far as like the shields go, she has like one of the cooler looking like just I love it. I love her shield. I'm excited to actually get a chance to play her. And I mean the in game animations are
Just the
always like
tights.
awesome to see.
The tights are actually damn, like she's strong. Like she's a muscular woman. Dead by Snunu.
Like imagine getting hit with that shield.
Yeah, Magic is no, she's they're kind of her family siblings also strong, kind of like a family of strong people, and she and Gamma is a powerful woman carrying a heavy ass shield, and imagine bashing that in your face, that hurts for
I
sure.
think her hair is sick too. I love
Yeah,
her hair.
she age wise, she's late 40s, early 50s. I think was it correctly? Sorry, I need to check the number that I wrote, but I think it was something like that. So, a middle aged woman, similar age to Selena, who is also I think the second middle aged badass looking female character, which is pretty cool. Um, Yeah, Selena is more like a charge though. It's a sword charge. Here no, and then stuns everyone with a charge. Her basic attack is a shield bash because she doesn't wear a weapon. Her weapon is the shield, let's say. And then her ability is kind of like a magical nature of creating a bubble, a protective bubble. But I can see then the connection for sure. I think Selena is more designed that she uses her because her charge stuns and does a lot of sword damage. It's more Selena is the classic swordsman style that goes charge with a two hand weapons, and then you can go for it go for it and kind of charge everyone. um yeah, so this I see your question, Sir Rapid. Let me start stop sharing the screen again and then go back to just both of us here. Change here the overlays too, and let's get into it. um we're not gonna reworking the abilities. I think we felt with the feedback very happy with the abilities themselves, but there will be definitely some numbers stunning. Obviously Selena was completely she's a weapon with herself. She's a strong one for sure. So the abilities themselves, I think they're pretty good. We felt I think the feedback, I think the feedback that we got a little people didn't kind of enjoy them much, but because it's a little harder to use in situations, in some cases, is Michel's ability. But I think Michel we saw the example Michel's ability being used Vitalis to display the guardian and do some crazy stuff. I think he can be a little situational, but I think everyone else, I think we got some pretty good feedback. Their numbers are definitely high or low in some ends, so it's gonna be most no for now a numbers balancing. Um, we're gonna however have 7 new icons, 7 different abilities in the game, so we're gonna make sure the game is balanced for these 14 icons for the soft launch. So gonna make sure your feedback is gonna be much welcome in February, so you can give good overview, so we actually know if we need to change anything, need to balance anything leading to the soft launch. But yeah, now we have our team of 14 icons. These are gonna be the ones taking the floor for the soft launch in the closed beta 2 and soft launch in March. As I mentioned, we have 7 other new icons for the general release, and after release, we're gonna be periodically releasing new icons over time. So every X months, or every I don't know how much, but we're gonna be releasing new icons to keep expanding our roster. But yeah, 14, the first 14.
And I feel like that's going to be very fun to see. Like in games like this, where you add just like one new hero or character, um, I think that you see like it changes things drastically. So I think to see having another additional 7 icons in the next one is going to be really interesting to see how everyone plays and just what everyone thinks about the different gameplay mechanics.
I think the good thing about introducing new icons is that the meta changes a lot.
Mhm.
I think the meta will always keep adapting based on people in every time a new icon enters the game, you need to try to see if that icon suits well and it disrupts the meta in some way. So I feel right now for closed beta the meta was kind of was very I would say AoE damage plus Florence. I think especially in the smaller maps the AoE damage was king. So I see kind of Tomo is a very good opener there, kind of to be used for long ranges, and still stay relatively safe. And then we have I think people use Serap used Selena a lot until she was disabled, but I don't count Selena too much because was still kind of some bugs there. But Selena can be a good charging but I see people using a lot of Burble, a lot of Achilles to kind of to put this damage out, plus kind of but the one icon that I saw everywhere everyone was using was Florence. Florence it was the only healer right now, and the only one, the sole supportive icon right now. So it's very obvious to see that she really quickly became kind of the big meta one, for the beta one. Selena being the only neutral means that no icon can do that much damage to her. So as Rapi pointed out, it's perfect to just take damage, to spawns damage, and have Florence right behind her healing her whenever she wants. So make a very scary lineup. Selena for stun, Florence for heal, Tomo, Michos. Yeah, that's a pretty good composition herself. Pretty strong composition. So yeah, Selena and Florence right now are very strong. But everything's gonna change a lot with 7 new icons. Then we're gonna have someone like Sir Gavin who's gonna be doing a lot of damage from distance. So if you have those lower icons or melee icons, you might be in disadvantage. So you need some ranged icons to fill up the composition to take down someone kind of Gavel. We're gonna have no Coles or Aegir with disruptive CC abilities, to enter the game. Peter with his big buff, imagine having the Guardian and Peter's buff on you, a lot of damage. So who else we have here? We have new here entering Jacko's traps, obviously. Jacko and his traps. So imagine place some traps and kind of to also as a way to dominate the map, kind of as a way to control the map. It's more kind of sort of CC as well. So yeah, Jacko and Mitchell will be very interesting actually because you can actually swap the traps. So with Vitalis, so that will be very fun to see actually. So
I'm excited. I'm actually surprised that Michelle wasn't played a little bit more with that. I think it is his ability is a little bit harder to kind of perfect. I think that's why. But seeing the Guardian swapped and then someone just blowing up that Guardian and taking out three icons in one move is just one of the
hilarious.
funnest
It's
things
funny.
to see. Yeah, it's so funny.
And that's something no, is we didn't really intend that, but now that we see that, yeah, it's fun as hell. Yeah, it's good to I think Misha is a pretty good icon. If you wanna let's say if you see you're struggling against Florence and everyone's picking Florence in the meta, you just pick Misha, keep Vitalis with you, and then take out Florence with Vitalis ability, and swap, So it's a pretty good one as Arsenal to take down someone fast, especially squishes, and to take them out of their comfort zone. So it's very good against players who are turtling down and playing very defensively. Uh, so wait, will Blastoiser be back?
That's one of the AI names.
Ah, the AI Blastoiser. I was thinking Blastoiser. Ah, yeah, the AI name. The thing is, Rock plays so much AI, like to level up, like to level 8, and that he probably like memorized all the bot names. So yeah, Blastoiser are definitely gonna be back. Like, don't worry, Blastoiser and the other ones are gonna be back. Kill stealing monsters, exactly. Ritomo, they're your friend. Actually, something I was even thinking, like, but I also actually was thinking to open like there's some bot name submissions to the community, so you can use like if you don't wanna use your own name as a bot there for others to play. Let's say Serap, you don't use your own name for your account, but you can play like we can make a Serapi bot and can be like present, for example. So that's something like thinking to implement as well. That can be something like fun event for the community, maybe having their own names present as like as uh, as bot names. What do you think?
That'd be
So for us, not super hard to make. So that definitely something that we can make some pretty cool stuff events with the community for that. Yeah, exactly. We still have exactly and something very unique about Icons of Theia compared to other tactical RPG turn-based games is that friendly fire is on. So when you use abilities, you can damage yourself. So you need to be very careful. So I think that's a good thing. Also the Tomo example, and even like Burbo, Aquila, all that once you need to select a tile, you need to kind of be careful where you place. And then even you can play with friendly fire because let's say if you have like an icon of 1 HP, you can decide to kill your own icon, so the enemy doesn't get the point. So that's something actually kind of something a pretty unique mechanics that we have here. That actually would be interesting to implement in the game down the that we have in the game. Sorry, that we have implemented in the game that's unique to our game. Yeah, sacrifice Lina most of the time because of that. So you deny you lose an icon, but you deny kind of the opponent a point. So you use your own turn, um, you deny the opponent a point, but you sacrifice an icon and you use it a turn just to kill your own icon. So it's a trade off. Because at the end of the day, even if the opponent doesn't have the 4 points, losing all icons automatically loses you the game. So it's still is kind of is a last resort move, I would say. It's kind of it's something that you really want to deny the enemy, so you have to sacrifice. So it's more like kind of as a the true gambit move. Let's say if you watch King Queen's Gambit, that you force your hand, sacrifice something, and then try to lure your opponent into false state of confidence, let's say, and try to take the win from there. But yeah, I like that. I like Will. It's pretty good to see positive feedback for the friendly fire. I was honestly a little concerned about it. People would find you wouldn't like it, but I think
Mhm.
I personally like a lot the friendly fire. I think the feedback we have received so far has been very positive for the friendly fire. So it's something that we plan to keep on for the future as well.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Especially, I was just laughing because yeah, it's like Joseph's go-to move is to kind of take out his own icon there. So I'm
Exactly.
glad that we have that too because I don't want to nerf his move, his go-to.
No, keep it there. Yeah, and so yeah, exactly. The cooldown, that you can choose. Okay, you need the heal. You need the heal, but it's still on a cooldown. So you move someone else and then you use the heal. So all of the strategic choices here. Yeah, I think I gonna probably add some feedback. I think we're gonna add the explanation about friendly fire and killing your own icon doesn't give an opponent point to the tutorial. So I think we don't have right now in the description here, but I think I was thinking right now that's probably something we should introduce players that about friendly fire, plus if you kill your own icon the enemy doesn't get a point. So because these are pretty unique mechanics. I never seen another tactical RPG turn-based strategy game this way that you can just kill your own icons to deny an enemy a point. So that's something very fun about Icons of Theia, that it adds a whole different degree of strategy to the game, and that's what we are all up to here. culling people like the troll holder Vichai, exactly. No, he only cools the one who don't follow him. Like he actually like he treats everyone like who believes on him very fairly. He just cools everyone who doesn't believe on him. So very very fair guy. If you go to the meter, you could directly get 3 skills and 2 opponents. If you go to the flags, yeah, you could directly get 3 stars and 2 opponent swings. Four stars. You need 4 stars. So in maps with 3 flags, you can just like get the 3 flags and just need to kill 1 icon. So you get like kind of like 4, and then you get the bug there like yeah in those maps yeah they're like we had like three maps right, one with 2 flags, 1 flag, 3 flags. So in maps with 3 flags, if you get all 3 of them, you just need to kill 1 opponent to win the game. So one thing that we are considering is that maybe killing the guardian gives also, in addition of the buff, one star. That's something we might try it out for for fun to see how it goes, because like it makes the guardian even higher priority in the map, but it's just like testing. I don't know, maybe like it'll be too strong. It's something that that we're gonna maybe easier to win, maybe exactly, but just like kind of some alternatives we have. Um, the new maps. I think you shared something on Twitter, right, about the new map, right? Like the outskirts of Digyushin, right? That's one of the maps
Yeah.
that are being worked. So maps. So pretty much the maps it's gonna be like completely different, both the art and also like kind of the composition of the maps for the next closed beta. So to answer your question, Serap, we want to do some dynamic maps. Let's say some maps that like let's say water terrain changes over time, like so it starts with water here and then goes here. Something like that's like a bridge pops up and then you can cross the water. Some barricades might spawn and protect you from ranged attacks. So there's some stuff like that we have been working on that kind of makes every game experience different to each other, not only on the icon gameplay but also on the map gameplay. So two things then, like the mechanics, the gameplay itself on the maps are gonna change. Also, obviously, the appearance and the art, as you could already see on the first one that we released there. So the idea that we're gonna have 3 different arts, kind of this the one that the art that we have the one which are on Twitter, and there are 2 more arts, and each of them they're gonna have different compositions in the map. So I don't know how much it's gonna be now, but there's gonna be basically 3 different arts, and then like kind of different formats, different shapes, etc. So I don't know how much. A wider maps about 6 times of the current, 6 times wider. So you want 30 wides. That's a lot actually, right?
Yeah.
30. Like we have it's 9 high, 5 wide right now, so 45 squares for 45 tiles. Put more icons to instead of 4. So a thing about that is scrollable, right? Yeah, that's something we have been considering. Either you can zoom out and make it smaller, or scroll across the map. That's something we always have been considering since the start. From a technical standpoint, it's not as simple as you might think actually. Like making scrollable, zooming out and making something kind of like that. However, it's something that post release we want to release. I think for the time being we're gonna stay with the 9v5 maps, but with them with different mechanics, different types of movement, etc. Yeah, with the hexagon maps, right? The first teaser, right? Yeah, with the hexagons. So right now we're gonna go for the squares, but also there's a possibility that we're gonna be releasing other shapes, even hexagon based maps as well in the future. So we decided for this one because it's the simplest one to implement, especially one of vertical screen. You can see all the action from that screen, so people can simply play the game. It's a way to keep the gameplay simple, for people not having to having to struggle to zoom out, zoom in. You guys are hardcore players compared to most gamers. So you definitely want to see some changes. It's something more complex, dynamic, but most gamers are not. So especially mobile gamers. So we prefer at the start keeping something simple, So we're gonna keep like the maps 9.5. Gameplays for casual players. That's gonna be the and kind of like we're gonna the goal here is to introduce the game on a casual way and make people like more passionate and make good in the game, and then down the line we can add some like more complicated dynamics like bigger maps, scrollable, more options, more gameplay stuff, like even like who knows, like multiple PvP games, like team, like like imagine like 4 players 2v2, each controlling 4 icons, like something crazy, or even like free for all mode, in a big map. The good thing about this type of games, like the sky is the limit, like not even the limit, there's no limit to the creativity here. We can like create literally whatever we want gameplay wise. It doesn't even need to be like elimination. It can be like there's an objective moving the map, and then you get the points like by guiding that, like just like Overwatch, like score the payload mode, for example. So the good thing is like everything can be created, and the second great thing is that you guys can create that. We're gonna be releasing like the creator tools, like next year, throughout next year, like for early 24 as well. So you're gonna have the chance to create your own experiences, and I can say that the first one, which is gonna be available for the soft launch, you're gonna be able to make your own customized maps. So yeah, pretty much like a SDK drag and drop system. So like you're gonna have an option in the game, in either in the game, you can pretty much create whatever you want. We're gonna give you the tools, the blocks, and you create everything. So the first one are gonna be the maps. So I think the goal for March, April, you can already just like make your own maps. I can't promise the size will be different. I think it's still gonna be 9v5 at the start, but at the start, you can make your own mechanics, your own maps, like place like flags, even like you can change like the number of flags, even like potentially change the number of stars during the game. So you can make like a map like if only capture the flag map. There's no combat. It's pacifist map. The icons cannot attack. You just like place 20 maps, 20 flags, and still something crazy. Let me Mobile Legends Creator Camp, Legends Creator Camp. Let me see here if something similar here. Let me get some images here. I am not familiar with Mobile Legends Creator Camp, but let me go to the website here very fast and take a look what you mean here. So, but it's like it's like kind of like a creator stuff. That's like definitely what we want here. But it's more like it's something that's gonna be present in the game, in the app. It's gonna be one of the options. Like you scroll in the app, you're gonna have like option to create everything.
That's gonna be fun to see. I think that's where we're gonna see a lot of the community creativity come to play there with those maps.
Yes.
I think another thing too about like the size of our maps is that it really does encourage like kind of like the quickest gameplay right now. So it would be interesting to see if we exploring maybe potentially bigger maps in the future. But I think for the time being, like getting that like kind of quick action gameplay, I feel like the size of the map like really helps contribute to that.
Precisely, definitely. Yeah, Serapi. Actually, our inspiration is Warcraft 3. Like our inspiration for the whole like modding the tools is literally Warcraft 3. Like that's how MOBAs were created. So we're inspired here, like that we give the tools to the community to create some new interesting game modes, game experience, etc. So the map editor is gonna be just literally the first one, but later you're gonna have the options to create everything you want. Like I'm pretty cool to see like a Theia based tower defense game, for example, created by you guys. You can just like kind of like play some like some icons character that can upgrade, and like the enemy spawns and then you need to defend, like all sort of things. So there are gonna be some pretty cool fun like down the line. Hey Shulhos here as well. There will be different kinds of guardians with different properties. Yeah, so right now we have of course our main guardian. I think the idea is that the guardian is a neutral objective. It's like very Digio thematic, like it's based on Digio, so the thematic of Digio. So down the line, we want either make different types of guardians with different properties. That's something we're looking for. Or when we release like new map settings, like Bainbridge on Jukur, there will be different neutral objectives, maybe called like different type of guard or a different name even. Then they're gonna have different properties. But we are satisfied with the current guardian for the soft launch. We're gonna probably not change them much on that until March. But down the line, again, many possibilities here. Elemental cards. The thing where users can create a game. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so about the maps, about NFTs, that's something like we're not completely determined on that. It's more like kind of like it's complicated. We have some ideas on how to make them like kind of as a way that it's a creator platform at the end of the day. So we want to our users that kind of can name like and monetize it. Um, we have some different alternatives that we're exploring regarding like monetization of user creations throughout NFTs through NFTs. We're still not fully committed into one so far. But let's say that are still like your point like mind the map and mod parameters is not like super far from what we're thinking. It's just like before like we say anything like it's a little far down the road for sure. We want to first like give you the tools to make the maps and see how that goes if people are enjoying exploring. But definitely if you make like a whole completely mini game inside of Icons of Theia, we want to give you like the tools to monetize that as your creation and be able like to independently from us be able to monetize and make some revenue out of your creation, which is honestly just a fair thing to do. So yeah, that's like one of the big things that I'm super excited. So like the map editor is gonna be like the test, the test event to the creator platform to set the tone and see like how you're gonna react. And I definitely wanna like we're gonna do some fun marketing contests like share your map creations online, like let people share like even like link for people to check and play. There are gonna be some very fun stuff down the line regarding it. Time fly today, I read like almost 1 hour, so pretty good feedback, pretty good like stuff here, like nice, great chat with everyone. I think like we can answer like a couple more questions if you guys have, but Will, I think we can get closer to the final comments here for today. Anything? Yes, Etras part. Can you send again like to Fuego the link to the form? But I think we can like wrap this one up, right?
Yeah, definitely flew by fast. It's the first one
Fast.
after the closed beta here, so I'm glad that it went well. But yeah, if you are missing any of the closed beta, I do recommend like checking out our TikTok and our Instagram. I'm going to be posting gameplay from the closed beta as well as some new gameplay as as updates come out here. So if you're missing it a little bit, I definitely recommend checking that out and stay tuned to our YouTube channel as well. I'm going to be posting some stuff from the closed beta tournament over the next few days there.
I send a link to our TikTok channel. So TikTok like is still quite small, like just growing. But if you want like some stable content like on TikTok, make sure to check that one out. Make sure to drop a follow. Make sure like it's the best way like if anyone asks like which game you're playing, which game you're enjoying, literally just send the TikTok link because people can say right away the gameplay, how the game works. Don't need to explain anything. People can understand very fast. So send some love to our TikTok, like drop a like, drop a follow, and send like the link to your friends, your family, everyone like who might be interested in playing Icons of Theia. Share to your communities, like anyone who is looking for a new, fun, enjoyable game. I think that's a pretty good way to introduce IoT to everyone. If that's all for today, give like 30 seconds more for any final questions. But can wrap this one up slowly. As usual, very fun here, like pretty good chat about like kind of the future of yes, the directory, right? Yeah, I can open this one on my screen actually here. I can open the other screen here. So you can see like kind of like we had the directory here. So you can actually I recommend you as well to follow their Icons of Theia directly on Twitch. So for everything Icons of Theia for Icons of Theia like related, you can follow there, and then you can check like kind of like everything that's going on like IoT related. That's pretty cool, right? So you click there like and if there's any other streamers there, you can just like kind of like check right away what's going on. So we have like already submitted on Twitch. Like I had to like manual submission, so they had actually to, they actually like it's very fun how that works. Actually like they asked me a bunch of questions about like the game, like if there's a legit game, or I had to send gameplay examples. I had to send like verification that is an actual game. until they got approved. So like it's not like anyone can get it. So they really had to verify that the game it's a real game. Uh, the churros for the editor, we hope that for the closed beta 2, you can already try it out. Definitely like for this, but I think we want to give you a chance to try it out for the closed beta 2 already before the soft launch. So I would say like late February, if not for for the soft launch in March. But should be actually in the next months already. So yeah, but yeah, drop a like on TikTok, drop a like here on the IoT directory here. So hoping in the future we see a lot of people here following up here on kind of the numbers growing.
I
Uh,
actually saw someone made a clip from the beta tournament. It's expired since, but we did have our first clip in that directory
oh really?
already.
I
Yeah.
that one I definitely missed. That one is
Oh
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, from the closed beta tournament, someone clipped something.
That's amazing. That's so great to see. No, that makes me very happy. Just to start again, we have like a small community that's growing. We prefer to focus on making a fun enjoyable game. 19 people today, nice numbers actually. Didn't check. So we're gonna make like a nice enjoyable game here, and then the goal here is kind of for everyone to be able to enjoy playing Icons of Theia. Then second we didn't go for full grow mode, trying to soft launch is gonna be the period where we want to acquire thousands of users, and then know where to find every single content related to IoT. Yeah, I gonna wrap this one up today. Thanks everyone for joining. A pleasure as usual. So this was Roundtable 17. Me and Will hosting as usual. Thank you everyone. Take care. Stay well. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.